Multiplying mixed numbers. So we already know how to multiply fractions. So mixed numbers, there's just one extra step, and it's not hard to do. So first of all, we need to review one thing that we learned a couple months ago, and that is how to turn a mixed number into a fraction, improper fraction. That's the first step when we have a problem such as these over here. We have a fraction times a mixed number. Here we have two mixed numbers multiplied by each other. So let's look at these three mixed numbers. I just wrote three random mixed numbers down. Remember that the procedure is we multiply the denominator times the whole number. So 4 times 2. And then we add the numerator, plus 3. That is our numerator. Our denominator is the original denominator. Now we use PEMDAS and we multiply first. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11 fourths. 11 fourths. Let's do another one. 1 and 2 fifths. So we do 5 times 1 and we add the 2 all over the original denominator. So 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2, that's 7 fifths. And then one last one, we're going to get a little bit bigger numbers. So we have 5 and 7 eighths. So we multiply the denominator times the whole number, 8 times 5. And then we add the numerator. And then we keep the same denominator. That's the important part. We keep the same denominator. So now we have 8 times 5 is 40 plus 7, 47 eighths. So that was just a quick review on how to change a mixed number into an improper fraction. Now we're going to use that in order to have any multiplication times a mixed number. So first thing we have to do is change this 2 1/3 to an improper fraction. So I'm just going to do that over here. 3 times 2 plus 1 over 3. So we have 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1, that's 7. So 7/3. So what we're going to do is rewrite this. 3/4 times 7/3. We can rewrite this as that. Now, we can do two things. We can just multiply straight across and then try to reduce or to simplify, or we can simplify right away. I'm going to do them both ways. So I'm going to write the same problem down here, just so that we get into the practice of doing it both ways. You're going to find that the second way is easier. So now we have 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 3 is 12. 21 twelfths. So we have to do two things. We have to simplify this, and maybe we could even put it back into a mixed number. It really doesn't matter if you keep it as an improper fraction or turn it into a mixed number. I'm going to do both for you. Okay, so I notice here, just because I'm old, that I can divide each of these by 3. Okay, 21 divided by 3 is 7. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I have 7/4. If I wanted to change that into a mixed number, it is 1 3/4. Either one of these is acceptable. Okay, let's do it by simplifying first. I notice here that in my numerator factors and my denominator factors, I have a common factor, or I have something that I can divide by the same number. 3, I can right away divide both of the numerator and the denominator by 3. If you remember back here, that's what I ended up having to divide by anyway. I think it's easier. We make less mistakes this way. Now we can just multiply 1 times 7 equals 7, and then 4 times 1 equals 4. At least we have this with that it's not really in simplest form. If for an improper fraction, this is in simplest form. But we can also, we'll just say, or 1 3/4. So either one of those is appropriate. Let's do another one. So here we are going to rewrite both of these mixed numbers as improper fractions. So with 2.5, I'm just going to do this out loud without writing the steps, because some of you will be able to do this right now. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 over the original denominator. Now what in the third? 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4 thirds, okay? So we have 5 halves times 4 thirds. Let's simplify first. I notice that in my numerator factors and my denominator factors, I have even factors. We know that we can divide even numbers by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now I don't have anything else that I can divide out. So 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 3 is 3. I have 10 thirds. That can't be divided out anymore. I can leave it as 10 thirds, or I can change that into a mixed number. And we just did it by dividing. 10 divided by 3, I get 3 1/3. So either one of those is an acceptable answer. And that is how you multiply mixed numbers.